What's up, everybody? This is Jose from Southern Life.
Hey, Katie.
Welcome to Lake Panasoffkee, Florida, aka Lake Pantyhose. This is one of the saddest little towns you're gonna find in Florida, known for homelessness, addiction. There's not much nice that can be said about this little town. People's expectations here are lower than the gas prices. When you get off the highway here, you can notice that there's people panhandling right there off the edge of the interstate. Now, this little rural community is just on the outskirts of Ocala and Tampa. So it's kind of on the interstate, halfway between Ocala and Tampa. And it really has a bad reputation. And we're going to go in there and show you guys what it looks like here. For one, the job market down here is concerning. The only thing there is to do out here is work at a prison of some sort. If a job at corrections doesn't seem like something you'd want to do, then you probably wouldn't like living in this town, because that's the only thing there is to do out here.
Yeah, buddy.
When you get off the highway, and the first thing you see here is like a homeless person. You can see their bicycle and other belongings there. And it looks like there's a homeless camp back there in the woods. So it definitely, from the moment you get off the highway, doesn't look appealing. But then you explore the community and find out that things are even worse in the community than they are by the highway. So let's take a drive and explore Lake Panasoffkee, see what things are looking like here. In the past, when we've done videos in this town, it's been more than disappointing. The things we've seen, almost heartbreaking. It's just a rural community where a lot of people have kind of not done much with their lives. And well, we're about to find out what things are looking like. It's been a while since we've done a video in this area. Now, overall, this area has some beautiful scenic natural settings. It's a part of Florida known as the horse country. So it's got a beautiful overall setting. It's just rolling hills, big oak trees. But then you get back in here and discover that things really aren't all that great. Now, there's a big lake here known for some pretty good bass fishing. But once you get back into the small communities in here, you start to discover another world. A world of poverty and crime. This is the type of place that ends up on the Cops TV show. Yeah, buddy. Well, there's some pretty high levels of Red Neckery in this community. There's nothing wrong with that in itself.
It's kind of neat.
It is. It's just the crime and the addiction that has plagued this community for a while. Where do you even start? I mean, looking recently through arrest records, you see people's faces on these arrest logs, and they're just covered in pimples and moles and missing teeth with meth mouth, and you're like, man, what have these people done with their lives, their self-esteem? It's just bad hygiene. A lot of people probably on a lifestyle of addiction that has led them to just having very little self-respect. And that's kind of what you see a lot about here. So not everything about Lake Pantyhose is great. There's definitely some horrible things. A lot of people move out here for the lake, for the fishing, not realizing the type of reputation this community has. The only thing they saw were the affordable prices of homes, and they didn't really realize how bad these rural communities in Florida.
They cameled out the house?
That's a first right there.
Wow.
They see these neighborhoods out here and they think, well, it's affordable. It's in Florida, it's a rural community, what could go wrong? And then they move out here and they don't realize all the things that are wrong. It's pretty bad. This house on the other side of the road right here is completely abandoned. It's properties like this, completely abandoned and forgotten, and there's so much of it out here. It's pretty sad. We can say that over the years, a lot of people have been fooled by this community and thinking that things are nice out here, or things are great, because they just see all the good. And there is good. There's beautiful lakes, beautiful scenery, natural areas. But there's a whole nother world to this community. Alright guys, so let's get in here and discover, you know, let's explore what's going on here. This isn't Sumter County. This county, the homicide rate is actually higher than Miami-Dade County. And I know some of you guys may find that kind of shocking or hard to believe, but analytics are analytics. And you're probably wondering, how does a rural county have a homicide rate higher than Miami-Dade County? I have no idea. But this area is just mystiqued with gun culture. Overdose rates up here are pretty high in this area. You got counties up here with overdose rates like 60 per 100,000, which is like, I don't know, like that's like 4 times higher than the average overdose death rate in a state like Texas. So definitely there are problems in these rural communities, and that's surprising to a lot of people, but not everything is she gonna climb that fence?
Okay.
I tell you what, Grandma gonna climb that fence right there. She climbing that fence right there. I tell you, she's just gonna climb up there.
Yeah.
Grandma's just gonna climb that fence right there.
Good for her.
I tell you what, man, Grandma just climbed that fence right there. I tell you what. Now, I've heard people refer to this community as a place that there's nothing here, and I really can't agree with that. I agree. I disagree with that statement. I think there's a lot of trash out here. Notice how like the mailboxes are all piled up over here. It's because like the mail's like, you know what? We're not even going in there. So they have to like put all their mailboxes out here, because the mail car's like, we're not going down there. We're not doing that. So like everybody just has to come get their mail over here. Yep. Mail service is like, we're not going in there. We're not doing that.
The house is coming in 2020.
That's like, we're not. Look at all the vultures. There's a landfill now, not far from here. I don't know if they recently opened it,
Yeah.
but if you look up in the sky, there's like thousands of vultures everywhere. So like, as soon as you get off the highway, there's like a landfill. So like it's like there's just vultures everywhere. It's really creepy. Well, you're probably asking, Jose, I haven't seen a single dang crackhead in your video today. And my reply to that is, you know, crackheads are elusive creatures. Like, they're not just going to be out and about for you to find. Crackheads are very elusive creatures, and they have things that they need to do. They don't have time to be out here.
It's early in the day. They're like
early
raccoons.
in the day. Yeah, like raccoons. Like, you're not just going to find a crackhead out and about in broad day. You would have to be hard pressed to just randomly find a crackhead out and about during broad daylight doing crackhead things. That's just not the way crackheads operate. Crackheads, they got a lot of things to do. Like they're busy people. They got things to do. They got, you know, tricycles to steal. They got places in the woods where they got to go stash stuff. Like, the life of a crackhead is a very complex ordeal.
Yeah.
That most of y'all wouldn't even understand about. So before you judge a book by its cover,
Yeah.
and being all prejudiced and stuff, you ought to get to know people better. Because there's always people like, oh, if it was as bad as you say, there'd be crackheads everywhere. I'm like, you think you're just gonna find crackheads doing crackhead things in broad daylight?
You find them randomly. You're not gonna find it.
You're not just gonna
go there.
You're not just gonna find a crackhead out and about doing crackhead things. That's a hard thing to find. Like, you know they're out there, but finding them's not easy. I'll tell you that.
It's like finding a panther in the wild.
It's a hard thing to find. Like, you're not just gonna run into a crackhead randomly like that.
They're elusive creatures. You're not gonna just find them.
They sure are. They're not just gonna be out and about doing crackhead stuff at 3 in the afternoon.
No, this is their sleeping time.
That's right.
Or they're just now waking up from their crackhead slumber.
They got things to do. They're busy people. Like, they're not just gonna be out here. The people think you're just gonna run into a crackhead out there. I was like, if this place was full of crackheads, you'd see them. I'm like, no, not in broad daylight you would. Not if they're... Not really.
Usually you find them at like 7 a.m.
Now, don't get me wrong, that's a pretty lake out there.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you want to go bass fishing.
Yeah.
But I got videos to make. As I walked through the valley of
The shadow of death.
I wouldn't call it that. But that's not even. Well, don't put words in my mouth.
I'm trying to sing the real thing. You're trying to do a parody.
No,
it's fine.
I'm not doing a parody. I was making my own version of a whole different thing. Got nothing to do with what you're talking about. You're being rude and interrupting me.
I'm sorry.
Don't interrupt me.
You know
I don't interrupt you. When was the last time I've never interrupted you?
Daily.
What are you talking about?
You're lucky I love you.
You're lucky I love you. And I'm tired of paying this John Redcorn guy to come giving you massages and stuff like that. Your headache should have got better by now.
Don't incriminate me like that.
This John Redcorn guy has been bleeding us dry with all these respiratory healing sessions. Ain't got nowhere.
Oh my gosh, no.
Not quite. And if you're watching this video from home, you're probably wondering, Jose, this don't look that bad. I'm like, just be patient, it gets better. Like, just trust me, it gets better. We're not quite there yet. Trust me, it gets better. When I told you I'm gonna bring you to some redneck spectacularities, I wasn't kidding you, man. It may not look like we're there yet, but we're gonna get there soon. You just gotta trust me on this, guys. You may not see it yet, but it exists. We'll get there eventually, alright? People just living in the little, like a homeless camp, just some mattresses there and stuff. Look like somebody's just been sleeping on that right there. So if you're wondering, like, Jose, this doesn't look as trashy as you said it would be. Well, hold on, we'll get there.
We're just getting started.
We're just getting started out here. We're not even to the good part yet.
I'm already hearing banjos. We're good.
Banjo, bling, 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 bling. This place right here is just run down and pound down, I tell you what. But jokes aside, guys, you know, it is a beautiful area. The issue with this area is that despite being rural, it is extraordinarily high crime because of the issues we've talked about on today's video. Just to give you some proper context, yeah, there's beautiful, affordable country living out here, but the issues that we're talking about on today's video are pretty accurately descripting. You found a $10 bill. Now, if I had to take a guess, you stole that from me a long time ago.
No, I remember what it was for.
Yeah, you stole it from me, and now you have it all of a sudden.
No.
Okay, they just discovered a $10 bill in her purse.
Yeah.
I love how you're always discovering things that disappear from, like mine. But there are great things about this community. Don't get it wrong. Yes, they have some beautiful waterways. And affordable. Can I inhale some of that stuff right there?
I only have the halls. Why do I only...
Don't pet on me. I tell you what, don't pet on me. This region is also renowned for not having any jobs. Not much industry out here. This area, if you're not gonna work at the Walmart or the state prison down there, you're not working at all. Like 20 ambulances passed by the time we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've said, we're still looking for the renowned levels of Redneckery that this place is famous for. Because so far we're just scratching the surface here. And we want to see some real Redneckery. Wow, look at that, 269. If only there were somewhere to go these days. So now, we're going to take y'all to the real screech of Lake Panasoffkee. This is kind of like, this is it. people feeding stray.
Good use
That
tires.
person's feeding stray dogs over there. That's like the most redneck thing you could do. Feeding a stray animal. That's just wrong. Why would somebody do something like that? Well, the smoke shop's busy.
Well,
Probably
in
don't-
Florida, we're a little more civilized than Alabama. We don't just like drop them off places.
We feed our stray animals here.
Yeah,
Folks in Alabama, they would never even do something.
they'll take it to the wrong side of town.
Wait, what?
They'll take it to a side of town that they don't like.
Well,
And just drop
the way
off
you
animals.
said the wrong side, like what are you insinuating there?
Yeah,
I didn't
was a
sound-
bad
I
choice
didn't
of
sound-
words.
that was not a good
Yeah, it
choice
was
of
a bad
words.
choice of words. Yeah.
That was a bad choice of words, happened. That was a very bad choice of words on your part right there. Didn't,
Well, it's wrong that they're leaving the animals places.
well, what's wrong is how you're saying stuff like that. That's just the wrong thing to say, Catherine.
Well, it's not the place you should be leaving your animal if you're gonna surrender it.
Well, now you're not, man. You just keep digging yourself into a deeper hole, young lady. You just keep saying all the wrong things to say. Like if I would just stop saying things, right? That's what I would do at this point. I would just stop saying
wrong.
things. You know what I think's got you breathing like that? It's that little can thing you've been chewing on lately, with them little Copenhagen things you've been chewing on.
Don't incriminate me like that. I wouldn't do that.
I'm just saying, like there is causes breath cancer down there. Now, there's better parts of Lake Pantyhose, and then there's this part of Lake Pantyhose. Now, this part right here is the part I was trying to tell y'all about. Now, this here's like a little slice of Alabama and Florida. It's stuff like this right here that you're just like, this is the real Lake Panasoffkee down here. That's our cover photo. I gotta swim back around for that. There are definitely some parts of this area here that are just like, wow. You know, like that's like Larry the Cable Guy type of rednecker right there. Billy! Where you going, Billy? What exactly is going on over there? Dude, like, there you go, right there. That guy definitely caught us looking at this trailer.
Yeah,
He's gonna
sure.
be angry.
Yeah. Go.
He caught us like taking pictures of his trailer from the outside. He's gonna be like, why are you taking pictures of my grandma's trailer? Like, toe to toe. That's my grandma's trailer around there. It's my meemaw's trailer right there. Only these fancy city folks coming around here looking at our trailers. We've been inbreeding for years now. Crazy is like a lot of these properties, like you drive through and you think they're abandoned or whatever, but you're looking at the condition of it, like this is abandoned, right? Like, and then, like somebody pops out of the woodwork, like, sir, can I help here? And then there is some charm to this place. It's just some people let their properties go to crap. The issue is, man, like nothing wrong with being poor, but I don't know. I've always thought it's okay to be poor, but it's no excuse to be filthy. And the problem with people here, they're living in a trailer, throwing their beer cans out the door, and you know, like, why live like that? You know, like I never could understand filth, man. You know, I like, you know, even when I used to pick up scrap metal, I used to, you know, hoard scrap metal in the yard and stuff. I'd line up my refrigerators in a row and washing machines in a row so it didn't look like, even when I was poor, man, I used to pick up scrap metal and stuff. I kept all my stuff organized and stuff. It's a shame to see these houses in this condition. You know, with the housing condition that exists in this country, lack of housing and stuff, people don't have a home, have to rent ridiculous, you know, and then you got stuff like this is sitting there going to crap. It's pretty sad, really, how many properties are just going to crap out here. Properties with a lot of potential. I guess what people may not know about places like this is there's a reason why these properties got abandoned. You know, like the people that own these houses, things happen in these type of neighborhoods that you just get sick and tired of it. People you just get tired of dealing with people's antics. It might be hard for you to comprehend why somebody would abandon their house and leave their neighborhood behind, but like that looks abandoned, but it ain't.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, there's somebody living like that. It's crazy. This one right here is for sale. I bet you that house is probably affordable. I bet we could afford to buy that house right there. Look at that. That's a cute little cabin right there. It's for sale. But notice how they had to put a fence on top of their fence. Probably to keep dogs from jumping out. They probably need a freaking bull terrier out there just to keep the property secure. That's a nice little cabin. Can you out of curiosity see what that's going for, Katie? I'm really curious of what that's going for. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. But it's like this, like what is going on? Like, does somebody really live like that? And my question is, does somebody really live like that? And I understand if it's an elderly person or not, but even elderly people, so look at the condition of this property. Like, people really live like that. Having that across the street would definitely affect your real estate value. That's pretty cool. Alright guys, so we wanted to see what that little house is going for, but there's not enough phone signal out here to even see our way out of this place, so there's just practically no phone signal at all. Pretty bad. No signal whatsoever. I guess we could do the village if I'm not sure.
That's what they want.
Yeah. The problem with heading towards Inverness is that we'd be facing the sun.
In 800 feet,
that really
turn left.
Work out too well. We'll be facing the sun. This is for sale right here. There's a new double line. But the problem with living in these types of rural communities is you would have to deal with so many antics from so many people that it would make living here not be that fun.
Yeah.
It's the type of place where a lot of people are not
at the stop
sober,
sign,
so
turn left onto North County Road 470, Sunder County Road 470 North.
Because they're not right. Those people aren't. You can't predict people's behaviors. You know. We're trying to decide what the rest of our trip's going to be for today. But we're, the village is 30 minutes. That's quite a drive from here. But trust me, the issue with living here is you're dealing with a lot of people that aren't sober. You might be, going for a walk with your dog and somebody might drive by and just about hit you, and they're not sober. Don't expect them to act sober. Don't expect them to act coherent. They're not. And that's really the places that life becomes inconvenient. So, yeah, on one end, a house might be really affordable out here, and, it is beautiful and country, but living out here among these people and the things that they're doing, your life will not be fun. You're outside walking your dog and here comes somebody, boom, flying in a truck. They're not sober. You can't expect them to be reasonable when they're not sober. Your neighbor might be paranoid and think you're trying to hurt them when you're not, They're muffed out, they're paranoid. That's the way they think, that's the way they move. What are you gonna do, And it just becomes a non-stop, never-ending shenanigan. They might be involved in illegal activities, and they might think that you're a cop, or living in these rural communities, like, at first glance might seem really cool, but living in a rural community is when you got 40 acres and your neighbors have 400, And then, like, even when I lived in rural Alabama, my neighbors had 100 acres or something, and they'd come start a bonfire right next to my property because they have too much time on their hands and nothing productive to do with it. And that's really the problem with people out here. Most of these people got their properties paid off, so now they got too much time on their hands, and they're not doing anything good or productive with all that free time. They're not using it for a good purpose. Too much free time, too much time on their hands, nothing to do with it.
Small town politics.
Small towns, small minds is the other saying people say. So it really makes life unbearable after a while, because you're driving through these country roads and you got people that are road raging you, they're flying past you in traffic, and you're like, dude, like, you'd think, living out here in these little country roads and stuff, you wouldn't be getting road rage. People wouldn't be, what's the rush to? Are you late to work? Like, what's the rush? Man, you meet some people on these little country roads that are really angry at the world, and you're like, what? What's there to be angry about on a country road? But they're not sober. Their mind's not there, But they're under a lot of substances. It alters their mindsets. They're paranoid at the world. They think everybody's trying to hurt them. They're they're angry, they don't know how to behave, they don't have good social skills, they don't know how to interact with other people. So that's really the problem with these rural communities. It's like, and this is coming from somebody who's already lived in a rural community in Alabama. When I lived in the city, I lived in these rural places, and I was like, wow, you think the city's got problems to live in? You're more likely to run into somebody wanting to cause you trouble out here than you are in the city. As the old saying goes, out of sight, out of mind. My experience living in rural America was a nightmare. I mean, they were like, you vote for Rump? You vote for Rump? Why do you care if I vote or not? Maybe I don't vote at all. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't care about politics. Yeah, you gotta vote for Rump. I don't vote at all. Maybe I don't give a crap about politics, you know? And like, there's also like this kind of like mob mentality where like, you know, the weirdest thing that I found about living in rural communities was just like people that are like trying to like, they want to like force their views on you, and they want to make sure that your views are like their views. I mean, I don't give a crap what your views are. You don't pay my bills. You know what I mean? Like the weirdest thing about like me interacting with country people is I'm trying to see what type of business we can make. You got a tractor you want to sell? What can I sell you? What can you sell me? You know, like that car's sitting there. You want to sell it? Let's make some money move. You know, I'm all about making money. I got a city mindset. I'm a hustler. I'm a city boy. I'm about my hustle. I'm trying to make some money. I'm trying to make some business. So I'm on these rural communities. If I interact with my neighbors, I'm trying to see what's good, what business we can make. You know what I mean? How can we make life better for both of us? These people out here, they don't have that mindset. They're trying to see if you're trying to buy something off of them. Now they think they got a gold mine or something, or I don't know. Like, there's just all these weird assumptions, and then they got a lot of passive aggressive behavior. Which in the city, if you got a problem with somebody, oh yeah, I said I go what that? We got a problem. Let's go. And these people, like, they engage in all these passive aggressive behaviors. And I was just talking to a friend that lives in this, not in the city, the suburban area. And I told him, like, dude, your neighbor's super passive aggressive. No, them people are friendly. I'm like, no, they're not, dude. Them people are super passive aggressive. And a few years passed by, and he's like, man, you were right, dude. Like, these people really are passive aggressive. I'm like, I've been trying to tell you. I've been tell you, man. I've been telling you they're passive aggressive. So that's another thing that I don't mess with is passive aggressive behavior. Like, I don't do all that. And you know, people in the countryside, they're not good at communicating, so they're always with that whole passive aggressive behavior, and I'm not with that. Like, if I have a problem, what's good? What's up?
In half a mile, turn right onto Florida 44 East.
Thank you, my dear. So, anyways, like I was telling my friend, like, he, you know, it's outside of a major city, so it's kind of country, but it's not country, you know. I'm like, dude, your neighbors are super passive aggressive, bro. Like, and he was like, no, man, the neighbors are good people. I'm like, we talked recently. I was like, yeah, you were right. Like, I told you.
At the stop sign, turn right onto Florida 44 East.
But it's like stuff for like city people, we don't even recognize all their antics. This gas station was abandoned. They fixed it, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And well, now we're about 20 minutes from the villages, and that's kind of a more developed urban area. So the people in these areas are also really upset at the development, because this used to be all like horse country, and they've created one of the largest, you know, subdivisions in the world out here. And unfortunately for them, it's drawn some of the worst people on earth too. So bless their heart. Bless their heart. But that's Lake Pantyhose. Shout out to everybody watching from Lake Pantyhose. I know there's a lot of people back there that watch our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for supporting our channel. And yeah, I'm just, you know, we're all allowed to have an opinion, and that's mine. You don't have to agree with my opinion, and we can still be friends. Like I tell you guys, I got friends that I got fishing buddies, and we're not on the same page on anything. We are two completely different views on everything. Does that mean we can't be? You can be friends with somebody that has a different view with you. You know, they go to the United States, everything's become so polarizing that I'm not going to watch this guy anymore because I don't agree with his view. Like, I'm not trying to spread anything. Just because I don't agree with what you, like, if you think you're going to go around life and all your friends are going to have the same lunatic mindset that you have, and you're probably not going to have too many friends in life, and if you do, they're going to be just about as crazy as you are. It's good to have people with different views in your circle, you know? It's good to have people around you that have different views, because they might see something in you that needs to change for the better. They might be like, man, you got to change this. But if all your friends, yeah, buddy. Oh, what's happening, man? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, oh, wow, you're so cool, man. It's so loud, man. But it's good to have people that are different in your circle, man. I might tell you something you might not want to hear, but you might need to hear. So check it out, y'all. Off to the pillages.